If you watched my video on discipline, then now you are one step closer to success. Now what you need is consistency. So consistency is taking your discipline and keep on being disciplined far into the future, because consistency is so far into the future that I can't say I'm consistent, because I've just been doing self-improvement for about 5 months and I've just been working out for the same amount of time. Consistency comes from doing it for some years. So in a few years, by doing self-improvement every day, then I can say I'm consistent. So consistency is promising yourself and keeping it that you are going to keep on doing self-improvement all the time that you're alive. If you work out 6 times a week for 6 years, then you can say you're consistent. If you do self-improvement every day for 6 years, you can say you're consistent. If you meditate every day for 6 years, you can say you're consistent. You can't say you're consistent before you've actually done it for a couple of years. So there's this thing called the compound effect. So the compound effect is the theory that when you do stuff, good stuff for yourself, it doesn't go in a curve like this. It goes more like, it doesn't move upwards, but then it compounds in the end and goes very far. So for example, there's this basketball player. Imagine there's like 2 separate universes of him. So the one universe is him just working out when he feels like it, doing this stuff when he feels like it, and just eating what he wants. And the other one is him taking everything seriously, working out many hours a day, eating healthy, working out in the gym too, doing all the stuff that will in the end compound him and make sure that he will get into the NBA. But the other version of him, the one that didn't do all this stuff, the one that just was kind of lazy, will not get into the NBA because he wasn't consistent. The thing about this version of him that was doing all this stuff, he was consistent. He kept on doing the stuff, even though in the start when they both started, they were equally as good for maybe a year, maybe even 2 years. But when this stuff compounds, the version of him that did all this stuff is so far ahead from this version of him that didn't do it, that this version of him, even if he would do all the good habits then, was so far behind that he wouldn't be able to keep up with the other version of him. So this is the problem with people today, that they just give up because they see that this curve, the start of the curve, the few years where you don't really see results, they give up because they don't think they see results, but they forget that it compounds, that all this work wasn't for granted, that they did it for their future self because it will compound in the end. And that's what you gotta keep remembering. So you gotta keep working and you gotta stay consistent. See you, bro.